During an interview on the Midas Touch podcast this week, Miles Taylor, the former Chief of Staff to the Department of Homeland Security leader Kirsten Nielsen, who, by the way, does have a new book out, which is why he's doing the media circuit right now. But Taylor explained to Midas Touch that he and other officials would have to dumb down Donald Trump's daily intelligence briefings. One, so that he'd be able to pay attention to them. Two, so that he'd be able to understand them. Because if they showed up with anything longer than a single page, Donald Trump's face goes blank, he doesn't want to hear it, he shoos you away. So Taylor explained to Ben Misal how they actually worked out getting Donald Trump to pay attention. Let me read this. This is from that podcast interview. This 50-page memo that we would normally give to any other president about what his options are is something Trump literally can't read. The man doesn't read. We've got to boil this down into a one-pager in his voice. And so I had to write this incandescently stupid memo called something like Afghanistan, How to Put America First and Win. And then bullet by bullet, I summed up this highly classified memo into Trump's sort of bombastic language because it was the only way he was going to understand. I mean, I literally said in there, quote, if we leave Afghanistan too fast, the terrorists will call us losers. But if we want to be seen as winners, we need to make sure the Afghan forces have the strength to push back against these criminals. I mean, it was that dumb, and that's how you had to talk to him. And I'm glad that Miles Taylor has come out and confirmed this, because we had reports all throughout the Trump administration that this is what these officials would do. They would boil everything down to one page. As Taylor said here, we take 50 pages, condense it into one, so that this guy who can't read, he says, would actually be able to pay attention to it. In addition, we also had reports during the Trump administration saying that they had to put lots of colors in there. We had to have lots of graphics, lots of charts and graphs because he likes the pretty colors in it. Ooh, look at this picture. That's kind of fun. Basically like you're dealing with a 6-year-old. A 5 or 6-year-old in kindergarten, their homework has lots of pictures, lots of coloring, lots of things like that. And that is essentially what they had to do for this man who was in his 70s. This man who lacked the cognitive ability to process this level of information. And therein lies the inherent danger, folks. It's not just, Trump's stupid. You can laugh at that, though. That is kind of funny. But it's the fact that this man had the nuclear codes. This man was making decisions. In some instances, he was making unilateral decisions that others could not change even if they tried. He was the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, so when we're dealing with a department like the Department of Homeland Security, they had to do everything they could so that this man didn't make any rash decisions because there was no check on him. In other instances, sure, there's checks on what the president can do. But thanks to a lot of the legislation passed after 9/11, the president was given a hell of a lot of authority to launch attacks without congressional approval. So, and the whole spying thing and all of that. So he could have done any of this on his own, and nobody would have been able to stop him. I mean, technically, that man who couldn't understand intelligence briefings could have ordered a nuclear strike, and nobody could have stopped him. We have no checks on that. And that's the danger of Donald Trump. That's the danger of putting someone into this position as the most powerful person on the planet who doesn't understand a damn thing they're dealing with. We just went through 4 years of that. This country can't afford to go through 4 more because you won't have people like Miles Taylor in there anymore. You won't have people like General Kelly. You will have nothing but a bunch of spineless yes men and yes women who will do whatever Trump tells them to. There will be no pushback. There will be no leaks. And the world is going to be in significant danger if that ever happens. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share. But again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.